Good evening, everyone. Welcome. This is Pamela Marie Edmunds, and this is the premiere showing of Pet Detectives, the Pet Detectives radio show. And I'm making sure I'm not stumbling over the words, because you know how many shows I've done over the years, and I wanted to make sure, just wait a minute, you're with Pet Detectives now, okay? So I just want to chuckle a little bit, give a little humor. So I want to welcome everybody who's here, and I just want to say that I'm sure there are other people who will show up during this time. And there, what did I say? Somebody coming in? Okay, and I've got a full screen in front of us, and it's going to get fuller. Wonderful. And welcome, Donald. Great to see you. And some faces that I don't know. I'm glad you're here too. So this is Pet Detectives radio show. And actually that's short. It's going to be primary. The primary topic will be Pet Detectives International. And you're going to learn a little bit about that tonight when I bring our guest in, Elaine Evans, who is the founder of Pet Detectives International. And Pet Detectives was a little shorter, a little easier to put out there. And I says, no, nobody else is going to bother with that. So, or worry about it. So I myself am a medium. I'm also an animal communicator. I'm a pet detective, which makes me a teammate. I'm also a Trance Channel. I've been a teacher and been a radio host now, doing radio since, oh God, over 20 years, all right? And I want to say this is definitely about the 4th or 5th show that I've ever done. I'm thrilled to be doing this. This was not a direction I ever perceived I was going, but you know, that's the fun of it. That's the fun stuff. How did I get involved with animals? How did I start communicating? Let me share a little before I get into working with bringing our dear beloved June in. Well, I'm in Sedona, Arizona. I'm broadcasting from the beautiful Red Rocks of Sedona. And I've been out here now, this time, Christmas will be 6 years. And traveled from Massachusetts. Some of you have heard my story. But I didn't travel alone. I traveled with a beloved dog, Earth Angel. And you're going to hear more about Earth Angel if you hang around this show, okay? Earth Angel, I adopted him as a puppy. Actually, it was when I first lived, the first time. This is the second time I've been in Sedona, living in Sedona. I adopted him back in about 2001. I, at the time, was going to answer a pager. Back then, you remember pagers? Not many people do pagers, but I was before I got a cell phone. And my pager had gone off, which meant I had a message. So I had to go to a payphone, which we don't have payphones anymore either, do we? Isn't that interesting? And on my way to the payphone, I saw a sign. And the sign was about an animal shelter. I read it and I saw it and I went along and did my thing. Well, that sign didn't get out of my head. I kept remembering that sign. So I eventually found a dog and adopted him. That was Earth Angel. And he was with me for 14 years. Well, Earth Angel communicates now to me from the other side in the way of channeling. And he's a part of this work. So that's some of the work that I do with animals. I also am able to work with the animals who are physically here. And a wonderful cat who's going to be a part of this show at some times. His name is Sylvester. And where he is right now, I'm not sure, but he'll join us. And he's a beautiful long-haired, black and white tuxedo cat. And you'll hear some of it too. He also communicates to June. If you were to look at my cell phone, you'd see nicks all along the edges of it. Okay, you can't see him that well here. But I put the cell phone in front of him and he starts biting on my phone. This is his way of saying, he wants to talk to June. And it's usually when she and I are on the phone. She tunes into his message, and there we go. Okay. And I want to tell you, these animals are right on. They're spot on. Some of the information they're bringing forward is amazing. So you're going to hear more about Earth Angel, Sylvester, and June has a beautiful picture here today. She's in the middle of the center of my screen, and maybe yours, if not. It says June Evans, and you see a beautiful black dog. This is Jake. Jake's another member of Pet Detectives International. So you can understand a little bit more how this all unfolds. So I'm going to take it to June now, okay? June Elaine, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes. Hi there, everyone. Am I making echo sounds?
You're sounding pretty good, dear. And yes, I do want to let people know she does have a problem with her computer or mic. It's on the list for to manifest a new microphone or a new
I have
computer.
I shelled out $130 for a Yeti, a blue Yeti. I was holding on to that money tightly, but you know what? Apparently I have need for that Yeti. And
Well,
led me. So I've got it here. I just gotta get it up.
So June,
Yes.
what give me a little bit, give us something about your background and how you got involved in this work. This is where we want to start.
How I
Kind
got
of like
involved,
what I was just doing, okay?
as far as starting PDI.
Yes.
Well, that's a 40-year-old story. That's over 40 years ago. I oh God, please don't let me cry.
It's okay, June.
I'm sorry.
I understand your story begins with some of your own loss. And this shows everybody that she's coming from her heart, and that's part of her purpose in doing this work. Go ahead, June, when you can.
About 40 years ago, a little over, I had a dog that got loose. And the feeling I have never gotten over, and I never found him. I never found him. And so it got to the point after a few months of this and went into a year, I actually prayed that somebody would bring him to me, even if they accidentally, if he ran out into the road, maybe they hit him, well, at least bring him to me. And I never knew what happened to him. Of course, now, all these years later, I discovered I had these gifts. Of course, I can tap into his energy, but he was stolen, by the way, everybody. He was stolen. And that's why I thought, well, what am I going to do with this? Instead of sitting here crying or whatever about it, what am I going to do to help others to feel this pain? The pain of losing a pet is bad enough when they pass or transition. But when you have a pet that's lost and you don't see the body, what happened? You never know. You just never, ever know the answer. So when I found out I had these gifts of animal communication, and I found out I had the gifts of working with other animals in the spirit world, that's when I decided to put this together and help other people out there that they've lost their dog. And to find out, also I put in a request to my guide dogs and guides. Let's find out if the dogs are past, have they transitioned, or are they still here on Earth's plane? So that's our job, Pamela and I have, That's what we're up against. If you called us tomorrow and said, you know, so and so, or your cat or any pet is gone. Um, our job, Pamela and I, is to find out. First of all, it's cold case unit, everybody. I don't work on fresh cases anymore. I used to do that, but it got so intense, and it was I. It's cold cases, and meaning animals need to be um, missing at least 3 months. I figure Pamela and I talked about that. That's considered a cold case, so that's what we are. It's PDI, Pet Detectives International, Cold Case Unit.
Okay. So that's how you started this how your inner your passion for this came about, your own experiences.
Yes, and
Now,
feeling other people's pain. And
right.
of course, I had to, my husband taught me well. When Jerry passed, my husband's here as well tonight. He taught me to, I had to let go of two things, he said. You have to let go of emotion. If you want to help these people, then you can't, well, didn't work tonight, but anyway.
No, it worked in the right, in a perfect way, June. It really did.
Well, emotions, and don't let emotion get in your way, and don't let ego get in your way. Those two things you have to let go of. I didn't know about ego, but anyway.
So so what June and I have been mentioning is the various types of gifts that we've worked with. And if, like June, if somebody's going to go out there to has a pet that's missing, wants to find out what happened to them, and they go to a traditional pet detective, they're going to be out there on the land, out searching and finding the various places the animal was last seen, right? Putting out flyers, et cetera, et cetera.
That's correct. That's why I had to get out of fresh cases. It was so intense. It was so, I couldn't sleep at night. I was feeling that feeling I couldn't let go of what those people were going through. The pet parents I worked side by side with, and of course, sometimes it'd get a little nasty with me or pushy or whatever. You know, did you find them yet, and how come? And it was a little rough. So it was a lot rough to watch them go through that.
So June, how do you receive information in regards to missing pets? How do you receive? That's what we want. We want, these are the unique gifts we want to talk about. The unique.
Okay, I get this two ways. One is from the actual pet that is missing themselves. They'll come to me and tell mom I'm sitting with her. Oh, for instance, Lori, did I not help you find a cat?
Yes.
You want to explain how that happened?
Well, my cat, I acquired her one night at work. She just happened to jump in my window, and I discovered her on my way home driving, which scared the crap out of me. She was a feral cat, wandered onto the farm, then she jumped in my car, and I had her for like 15 years. So I really don't know how old she was. And she was an indoor outdoor cat. And all of a sudden she just turned up missing, and I looked all outside, I looked in the house, I could not find her. So I called June and I said, I don't think anybody would, we're far enough off the road, it's not like somebody could come in and scoop her up. And I said, just let me know if she's passed, because I would like to make sure I bury her, because I don't want her left to the animals, so to speak, and I want nature to take its course. And no, June told me that she had crossed over, and basic in a nutshell where to look. And when I did find her, it was like, oh my God, it was like she was right under my nose the whole time, but I never saw her. So
Thank you, Lenny, for sharing that.
you're
Thanks,
welcome.
Lori.
Okay, so that answers the question. Question number for the first part of my journey with the pet parent was in Lori's case, I knew right away that the cat was telling me she had passed already. And that was that. And I had to close the case because I had nothing to go on. The cat's telling me. Usually what they'll do is they'll tell me what the mother or the pet mom, I call them, is wearing, what color they're wearing, what room they're sitting in, what's on the wall, what's in their refrigerator, what's in the freezer. If they're in the bedroom, what color is the bedspread they're sitting on, and things like that. Laura, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I did, because it was the night I was sitting at the kitchen table and June said, I'm getting shells. And I thought, shells? Well, I collect shells every time I go to the beach. And she goes, no, shells. It's right there with you. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. And she goes, I'm getting blue. Are you wearing blue? Do you have on blue shoes? And I just happened to scan across the kitchen and I went, are you effing kidding me? And she started laughing. Right there on the counter was a blue box, a Barilla box of pasta shells. And I went, okay. She's the real deal.
Thank you, honey.
So,
That's
so,
how it's done.
yeah,
That's how
so
it's done. I'm sorry, Pam.
I was just gonna say, so June, when they're telling you that the different things about around the pet parent, is that because they're still here or on the other side?
No, they're on the other side. It's evidential, spot on mediumship. I'm not going to take credit for it. I'm going to give them. It's their burden, everybody. It's not mine. It's theirs. They're the ones that have to get through to me. June, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Tell her this, the color of the glasses and the rims and all of that. I'm with her. I'm in the room. They don't leave us. People think they go over the Rainbow Bridge and that's it. That's just not true. There's so many things that it just isn't true. They don't leave us. They love us, and they'll wait forever. What do you people think about this? It's unconditional love. You know what it is.
Right.
You all have experienced that with an animal. A lot of us haven't experienced it with a human, for God's sake. Anyway, so let's get to the other half now.
Please,
That,
yes.
thank you for that. Now to the other half of a dog I found 3,000 miles away in California, or helped find, I'll say help. This dog came through with, excuse me, that's just not true. This time I had to use my guide animals, my guide dogs. Whoever the lead dog is in California comes to me and he'll say, this dog is being fed, and that's exactly what I was told. This dog is in a under a bridge sometimes with homeless people. This dog is being fed by homeless people. Tell the pet mom, and on and on. And then what bridge this dog was seen at and what place of business. I need all of that to give the pet mom a chance to go put up Patterson. Thank you. I just heard Patterson's plumbing company or whatever. The dog was seen there. How would I know that? I'm 3,000 miles away. The only reason I know that is because my guide dog is helping me. Say he's over there now or over here or whatever. And eventually the dog was caught because I was able to track it. I was able to track his movements everywhere he's going, thanks to my guide animals and spirit.
And June, that case was in California, and you're where?
Yeah, I am in New Hampshire, 3,000 miles away. That's not the only one. I had 2 California cases, but that could be, yeah, that's under my testimonials. So that's how I work. There's 2 different ways. One, if you come in with your animal missing and I start giving things about you that I would never know, ever, between you and that beautiful pet, that means the pet is passed. And as much as I don't want to say that to you, at the same time, wouldn't you rather know? I did 40 years ago. I wanted somebody to bring my dog to me.
And that's a difficult part here of this work. And I want to say I give June a lot of credit because she's created Pet Detectives International, as you probably hear now. She and I right now are the main two teammates, besides all the pets and the animals who assist us from both sides of life with this. You okay, June?
Yes, I'm fine. Hon.
Oh,
I
right.
just wanted to say that, you know, I used to have visions of somebody bringing him in their arms and saying, I'm sorry, I hit your dog. He ran out in front of me. I prayed for that, actually.
Right,
So I
right.
could have his body, back then I would say the body, to help bury it, but I never could, so there was no answers. But at least when somebody comes to me, is my dog alive or is my dog passed? And they have to trust me. That's all I can say. Don't come to me. Either one or two. I know you don't want to hear your cat or dog is passed, but trust me. If I can't give you where your cat is hiding under a deck, maybe, or a porch somewhere, or your pet, well, I can't.
Right.
That means that the animal is passed, and I have to close the case.
And you've had a lot of pet parents, as we like to use the term, who just don't want to hear that.
They don't.
And
And so what happens in that case is I tell them, okay, you need to continue looking for your baby, continue with looking. But I personally have to close this case because I have nothing to give you. I can't help you anymore. Either
okay.
you leave this or you continue with my blessing, continue looking for your pet. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, but
Now, June, if we narrow this down, there's actually a couple different ways I know that you've shared with me. Can you talk a little bit about the remote viewing that happens for you at times?
oh God, yeah. Remote viewing, everybody, short. I'll make it as short as I can here. Remote viewing happens to me when I close my eyes. I lay down to go to sleep at night, or I'm waking up. Through my closed lids, I actually see. I start off with there's a woman here that I love dearly that's helping me. I hope she doesn't mind if I call her TJ. TJ, can you hear me? Can you hear me, TJ? Okay.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. TJ is, do you mind if I give your title or no?
Oh, go right ahead. You can share
She,
whatever you'd like right now.
Okay, I asked, actually, I work with Jesus as well, a lot. I work with Jesus. I asked him to please send me well, I forget the word now, but anyway, people to help me because I can't do on the ground what they call boots in the ground. Donald, I want to talk to too before this night's over because Donald knows a lot about these things. Boots in the ground. I can't get out there and go, but and next thing, okay, thank you, Jesus. Okay, he just said it's called Legion, June. Legion. Yes, I did. I asked him to send me a legion. He's here with us. Thank you. A legion of people to help me with this. And so, yeah, TJ, I feel, is part of this legion. She is an animal communicator. I'm sorry.
No,
TJ,
she is becoming an animal communicator.
yes, she is an animal control officer from the state of New Hampshire, and she's helping me find the remains of a dog. We can't really share that, everybody, tonight. Not tonight, not yet, but we're going to find this. She and I have been working together for months, and Pamela as well. Pamela can tell you what she's been doing to help, she and Earth Angel. So, yes, we are looking for the remains of a dog in New Hampshire. Now, I've never found a pet. I never found a pet's body. I don't make it my business to do that. For some reason, on this case, I want to help find this dog. And Pamela and TJ we're all doing this. Now, the other thing is, yes, thank you, honey. Jerry's helping. He said June has helped find the remain. Okay. I have helped find a young man who passed into spirit, his body. He led me to his body, and he also was from New Hampshire. I had a taste of that, and I decided I didn't want to do that. It was sad. I mean, at the same time, I was happy to help him in spirit because he wanted his dad to find his body. I keep saying body. Maybe that's the problem I'm having. I don't like to say that, but it was. I mean, his body, so his dad could put him to rest. So yeah, that's it.
So June, I'm going to go back again to the remote viewing. So you've gotten visuals of various things along the way with various cases.
And I'll tell you, thank you for getting me back on track. I do that.
That's okay.
Thank you for getting me back there. One of the people that are here tonight, I had a remote viewing of him. His dog, that's Donald Vickers. His dog came to me with my lids were closed, and Donald and I used to talk on the phone, but we haven't been doing that quite so much. The next thing I know, his name is Chris, his dog, Christian. We call him Chris. He came to me and he got in my face. I mean, I felt like I could touch him. He came up to me like, tell Dad. So I did. I went and told Dad whatever it is he told me to tell him. And so that's remote viewing. If I open up my eyes, they disappear. The Palladians come to me through, I don't know if you people know who the Palladians are, but the Palladians come to me through remote viewing. Yeah, as long as my eyes are closed or I come out of a deep sleep and I'm coming out of it, it looks like I'm what do they call that hovers over the land? Like
A drone?
A drone. They'll show me the height of, let's say Chris. Okay, Chris is trying to show me himself way down below. And I'm hovering over him, but I keep telling him it's not close enough, Chris. And he'll bring me down closer and closer and closer to him, and then back so I can see where he is. So I haven't honed that gift quite yet. It's still dark sometimes, it's too dark. But I'm working on that gift. That's going to be huge for PDI. It's going to be huge. And TJ, you've got that too, don't you, hon? You're working on that.
Yeah, I've actually, with the case that we're working on, you and I have talked about it a couple times where I've had some dreams of this particular dog showing me how she's laying. Now you're gonna get me crying.
Sorry.
Where she showed me how she would be laying, the surrounding area of what it looked like, and when I walked over to her and said her name, all of a sudden she was like a different dog or something because she got up and moved and walked away. So it's hard to wrap your mind around how it actually works. But she's definitely showing Junie and I, both of us, places that she's been, which is absolutely amazing.
And we are
TJ,
going to find her, everybody.
Right.
Pamela, I hope will take back the microphone and she can take back, but I want to say one more thing because Chris is
Go ahead.
around me. Chris, I will say this, okay, honey? I will. So what he wants me to do, Donald, is to introduce you to everybody because you're so important. You are many things to me, but one of the things that I love going to is Pause. It's PAWS. Pause, MIA. That's where you can find Donald, and he does what he can to help. Go to his Facebook page and join PAWS MIA. Pause, MIA. Donald, do you have anything you want to? You're muted though, right? Can you
You
hear?
can unmute easily. We can't hear you, Donald, we gotta unmute you.
Okay. Well, the thing of it is, he's a veteran.
Here we go.
Yes. You're veterans, right, Donald? That's why I'm with you guys.
That's the thing with the Pause MIA. It's a veteran-run group, and we allow people to post on there. And once a month, we do a radio show. We pick 5 dogs out, and they're broadcast on OB Radio Online on generally the first Sunday of every month. And then the shows go, due to the fact that I record them in advance, they're in the database and they go into a 24-hour rotation where so many times within each 24-hour period, that's rebroadcast. In case people miss the show, that they have ample time to catch it and help look for these Boston missing fur kids. And I encourage anybody that's got a lost or missing dog or knows of anybody, send them over to Pause MIA, put a flyer up and fill a application for the radio show out. I mean, I've been broadcasting without the applications. They're not getting submitted for some reason, but I take the information off the flyers and air the pets in hopes to give them a little bit more visibility to be found. And June also works with me on these things.
Oh, Donald, you know we do more than work.
And Donald,
Oh,
how can they find you, dear?
How can they
Facebook?
find me?
Facebook?
Yes, Facebook, and the page is Pause MIA, Pause Missing in Action.
Okay,
And
awesome. Thank you.
just go to that page. You know, and anybody can join, anybody can post there. And, you know, if somebody personally has a lost or missing pet, or they know somebody close to them that does, put it on there and we will do our best to help find them.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Chris
Great,
loves you.
great.
And Pamela, I would love to hand the mic back to you because you're such a huge you and Earth Angel. Please share with us now how you help us.
Okay. And I'm gonna mute you there, Donald, for time being, okay, dear?
Okay,
All right,
that's fine.
That's fine. I'm just trying to get a figure. Okay, we got you. Okay. Yeah, first off, I want to mention too here, this show is all about any kind of missing animals, but it specifically is about Pet Detectives International. And I want to put background on that too. First off, this show here is the first of many. And information on this show, about this show, you can find on petdetectivesinternational.net is our new website. I was blessed to put it together with Elaine, and we've got that up and running. We also have a YouTube channel. This will be in the archives in the YouTube channel with other recordings, and it's Pet Detectives International. Information, there's a channel in there from Earth Angel to introduce you to Earth Angel. There's a channel in there from Sylvester. There's a channel from a wonderful being, Arthur. And people are going to ask, who the heck is Arthur? Arthur is a very special person from the world of spirit. And I'm going to start getting teary here. And I don't often do this. He's been with me now for about 10 years. And when June and I first started connecting, I was supposed to introduce him to her. His real name is Arthur Conan Doyle. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and many people know him from the Sherlock Holmes series. He was a prominent British writer, but he also wrote a lot and investigated a lot of psychic phenomena. He has been helping both June, Elaine, and I to develop our skills of channeling. And that is a big piece of this work with spirit. Earth Angel has been in spirit world now, it will be 6 years come January, and he's channeling through me. TJ has received a number of channels from Earth Angel, and Earth Angel joins her in the search for this pet that we're looking for. Okay. And he's a blessing. He's a blessing for this group. Sylvester's another blessing. But I want to go back to Arthur again. He's like a father figure to us. He's a teacher. But he's also there giving us guidance and direction. These next 2 months, Pet Detectives International has a lot of change involved in it. And some of it is this show. It's you people. And what I want to say is we offer services. If any of you are in need, we can do animal communication for pets who are here in the physical form. Can also do spirit communication with those who've crossed over, channeling, and obviously cold detective cases, which is cases where a pet has been missing, as June said, at least 3 months. And that's, so we give the pet parents a little bit of time to grieve. There are some cases that we are looking at becoming involved in. And I just want to briefly mention, you're going to hear about this more. There is about a series of cats who were mutilated back, I'm going to say several years ago. And these cats are still seeking to get their voices heard.
Thank you for bringing that up, Pamela. Thank you.
Sylvester, my cat, who's in the physical form, he brings that up on a regular basis when he and June are in conversation. And all this work is tied to the animals. Yes, we're helping you people, you pet parents. But you know what the focus is? These animals are not going to get to talk if we don't be their voice. So I hope that's made some sense to understand a little bit more another side of this work. And another person I want to say, if you go to our YouTube channel, which is Pet Detectives International, you're going to find someone there listed as Alfred, Dad. It's my father. I've been in Sedona now 6 years. He crossed just before I came out. He provided the financial means for me to get myself out here, which has evolved in me being more available to the spirit world, me being more sensitive, me also going through some major healing, and finding Sylvester and bringing dear Earth Angel back home. Earth Angel was originally from out here. So I'll give you a little extra information. June, you want to tag on to some of that in regards to some of the work we're doing? Channeling's a big part of this. Spirit communication, animal communication, the remote viewing.
Yes.
It goes on and on. Go
I
ahead.
do. I have a few things here, but I have a couple requests while I was listening to you at the same time. You know how we do this, Pamela. I wrote down some things that I got from Spirit, also a suggestion on to let people know. These people that are here tonight with us, they're I'm not going to say crucial, but darn close to crucial for this program. They're supporters. But at the same time, there's something about the people, especially, and I hope you'll forgive me, Marilyn's, I'm hearing. I keep looking at her. There's something about her that I need to know about. I don't know if but I wish we could, I don't know how much time we have, but I wish everybody could just say a little something. I want to hear their voice because I can pick up their energy and find out what the hell it is, pardon my English, that why am I being drawn? I already know about Lori. I get that. Also, we have Margot, I believe it is, medicine dancer. Do you know she's got an elephant charging or coming to me? Oh, here we go again.
And
no,
Margot, yep, Margot, I haven't seen Margot for years, but
well, I want
know,
her to.
I know
want her to know that.
I know Margot's a medium, June. I know she's also a medium, and she is a dancer.
Oh, well, I want Margot to know something. I'm about to give a test to my first baby elephant who was murdered. I have a picture of this elephant. I haven't been able to put it up on I am going to put it up though. The two men that are standing there with the guns in their hand that shot this baby, I omitted from the picture, but the baby, since there isn't a whole lot of, you can't see anything but her curled up. I've debated on whether to put that up there, but I've got a name for her. She's going to become my very first elephant guide to help me with other elephants that are being horribly, whatever. We don't have to say that. But let me go, what else I got here real quick. I got ask questions, please. The people that join us, please go ahead and unmute your mic and do you have questions? And then I got big news, only first on PDI radio. There's something that's going to be happening, and you were here first. You heard it first, or you will hear it first. People are going to hear whatever we are accomplishing, and that's including TJ. There are 3 cases that have gone unsolved, and I believe all 3 of those cases are going to be an explosion, and you'll hear it all about it here on PDI radio. That's what I call it. Also, I'm getting a request from Arthur. Arthur is asking Pamela to consider channeling him one evening, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, so people can see you and hear you channel. Okay, Arthur. Hear you channel him and with some very important information that they will find out that actually comes true. That this is not a joke, none of this. And finally, what else did I hear? Buffy, I'm hearing it again, Buffy. Somebody by the name of Buffy. Well, there we go. That's it.
Okay. And you had the name Buffy beforehand, and that was interesting because I mentioned I knew a couple Buffys many years ago, but they're not in my life. So Buffy could be an animal. So we just got to trust it. So who would like to, okay, one other topic that keeps coming to mind before, 1 minute, Judy, I'll get you in a moment. One other topic, and this you're going to see if you go to the Pet Detectives International. It's petdetectivesinternational.net, our website. There is a page, the Memorial Fund. June, what is it called?
Yeah. Ebony. The dog Ebony.
Yep, the Ebony Memorial Fund. And you want to tell a little bit about Ebony and why we picked you?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead, hon.
And we're not sure where this happened, but it was a post that came up. Ebony was a dog, beautiful dog, and a neighbor to where Ebony was living shot and killed Ebony for no reason. The pet owners were devastated. Yes, yeah, Donald, you heard about this too, right? Yeah, pet family was devastated, and I believe they've got an attorney involved to help to, they know exactly who did it, and it wasn't like the dog was doing anything wrong. It's just somebody was playing abusive, vicious, whatever. And so we've opted to, there is one page on the Ebony Memorial Fund. And the Ebony Memorial Fund is a collection of funds that can go towards whatever animals may need. Whether it's somebody who needs food for animals, somebody who needs animal medical care. It may even tie into some of these changes in laws, whatever. June Elaine had been gifting a lot of money from her services over the years and gifting to help others in the way of the animals. So it came to mind we needed to create a memorial fund. And so that is there. And basically, June Elaine and I are the two main teammates. Basically, if Spirit guides us to use funds towards someone over here or something over there for the animals, we're going to follow suit because Spirit knows what's needed, and
Exactly.
we listen and follow Spirit left and right.
And Pamela, may I add to that?
Please,
What
please.
Spirit suggested, and I already started it, is I sent some money down to the state of Virginia
Yeah.
for a little dog I fell in love with. I think he was like a beagle pup. But anyway, sent some money down to sponsor him. And so once a month, I'm going to put up on our Facebook page, Pet of the Month. And that shows people where their money's going, basically. They're going to see, you know, $5, $10 or whatever they can put in there. Wonder where that went. Well, here
Right.
it is. This is Scooby. Scooby was left on the doorstep, tied up to this woman's doorknob, and just left there overnight. Another dog that came in was put in a cage and thrown out of a vehicle on the side of the road. I mean, so yeah, that's what we're after. Oh, hold on. Okay. Earth Angel, I know, honey. So Earth Angel wants me to mention puppy mills, but he doesn't want me to talk a lot about it tonight. But he is steadfast, ready to put a stop to puppy mills. Okay, Earth Angel. And then also, okay. I can't.
This is how the communication occurs. Go right ahead.
Okay, this is back to Donald. This is Donald's dog. Chris has a dog with him. Donald, she didn't have a name, and Donald gave her a name. Donald, can you say what her name was that you gave her?
Gave her the name Xena.
Her name is
Xena
Zena.
was a very, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sweetie. I'm sending you a big kiss for that, Donald. So anyway, Xena proceeded to tell me. I asked her to not ever tell me this again. I'm going to share it with you people, but probably we won't be doing this again. But she was a puppy mill dog. I didn't understand what that really meant. And she basically showed me three things. Number one, she showed me her being, of course, pregnant and her babies. And then a hand reaching down into where she would be laying and taking, as she described to me, her babies off her nipples. Taking the babies off the nipples too soon, number one, and off they went, and that was the end. She never saw the babies again. And then she showed me, I said, well, what happens? What happens? I don't understand what happens. And she said, she was afraid of guns. And I said, why? And she said, because when the mother's used up and that's that, they shoot them. That's it. They just shoot the mother. And that was it. I just wanted to share that, and I probably won't do it again.
Thank you, June. I know a lot of this here does cause you a lot of emotions, and I'm not surprised. It's very difficult to be aware of all this. So Pet Detectives International is about helping to find pets who have been lost or stolen, find out if they're in spirits, find out if they're here, but also it's to help the animals here, to assist, to also sharing things like this, huh, June? Talking about some of these stories.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear, Pamela.
Yes.
Judy had her hand up. I wonder what
Yes, let's go back to Judy. Thank you, Judy. Gotta unmute yourself. Can't hear you. Wait a minute, we can't. Okay. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
Well, I am taking care of cats that are called community cats. They're cats that don't have a family. And so there's an organization here that will take them, neuter and spay, give them their shots, and they clip the ear, which indicates that they have been neutered and spayed. And two of the cats, there were three left from a litter. I don't know what happened to the others. The mother was killed. And this was the house across the street from me now. And those cats have lived with some of the most horrible people. They live under the house, not in the house. And they're just terrified of human beings. Well, two of them now stay here, not in my house, but in the yard. And I feed them, and they're becoming more friendly. I can pet them now and rub them. The third one, and when June was saying Buffy, I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but I always refer to that cat as buff colored. And that one comes over and eats and is so frightened. But now I have said kitty kitty to it so often that it'll look up at the back door and see me standing there, and it won't run anymore. At one time it ran. But I make sure it fills itself up. It only eats once a day. But I'm concerned because the people living over there are putting a privacy fence around the backyard now. They know the cat is there. I'm concerned about the cat being able to find food. They won't feed it. The man says his wife is allergic to cats. And so I just wonder if there's any, and I will try this myself, but to speak to the cat and let it know it needs to come over here now. It's time for it to come here now, that that's no longer its home.
Judy, thank you for sharing that, and thank you very much.
Well, I'm very
Suggestions?
concerned.
And you're
June?
in the right space in the right place, because I'm telling you, this might sound, all of you, I don't know how this is going to sound to you, but I'm going to say it because I believe it. I believe that before Pamela and I are done, we're going to be very wealthy women. Not only wealthy, but powerful. And we are going to make a difference to people like you. The story you're saying, you're in the right space, you're in the right place. I asked God to help me have enough finances. That, that's why it kind of makes me, well, a little ticky, whatever, when somebody says to me, how dare you charge people? How dare you charge people money to find their lost pets? I'm so tired of hearing that. I've heard that before. Well, how the heck am I going to help these other babies if we have to charge something? And I give away more than we charge. So, but thank you for sharing. Judy, also, Pamela, could we hear from Marilyn? I want to find out why I keep.
All right, we go there, but we can be closing this conversation with Judy really quick. If Judy goes in, okay, there's a chat at the bottom of this page, bottom of the Zoom. There was a message in regards to the cat that you were just talking about, Judy, from TJ. And I believe it was something to the effect that she believes the cat already knows where to go. Okay, and we want to honor TJ, because TJ's intuition is becoming spot on. And wait a minute, what the heck is this last message that just came in?
It's Margot here. I was telling June to not listen to them because that's old hat. If we give something as a business, we deserve to get paid for it. Period.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
like
you.
so old hat. We all know about it. We've all learned about it in our own trainings when it has to do with spirit and intuition, etc. Yeah.
Thank you, Margot. It's good to hear you, dear. It's been a long time.
Hi, Pamela.
Yeah, it's been years. Are you still in the Boston area?
Yeah, for now.
Okay, all right, awesome. Well, you're holding a space there for others. So
Thank
you
you.
for sharing. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Margot.
Yes.
Also, the one thing I wanted to mention to you all about my training, if you want to call it, or learning how to hone my gifts. I didn't go to school here. I didn't go to church to learn from other mediums. I wasn't taught by anybody here on earth. My husband took 2 years to teach me from the spirit world how to hone my gifts. Took him a long time to get me to trust in myself, So yeah, I'm not as polished as a lot of the mediums here on Earth Plane who've had teachers and all of that, but I get it. Listen, I get it done. That's all I can say.
In June, I learned how to channel. It was from spirit too.
Okay.
I had no helpers on the physical plane here. Excuse me. I had a sister who would sit with me and validate what she was feeling was coming through.
Oh.
But basically it was spirit. And then of course Arthur showing up, I mean, an earth angel. I mean, they're both in spirit world, and it's like, yeah. So
Yes,
anyway.
I do, Marilyn. I do have a
Okay.
question for you.
All right, let's go to Marilyn, please. Marilyn, thank you very much, Margot. It's great to hear your voice, and glad you joined us. And thank you so much. Go ahead, Marilyn.
Hi, June. Hi, Pamela. How are you?
All right, great to see you.
Great to see you as well.
Yes,
So June,
Marilyn, when you first came on tonight, I felt like I've known you before. I've seen you somewhere. Since I'm not on video part of this tonight, but I will be. There's something about you, and I just can't help but feel it has to do with either mediumship and or animal communication or something.
well, it
Are
could
you
be.
a starseed child?
I am a starseed child,
Okay.
and
Go ahead.
I have had many lifetimes in the Pleiades, which is my
Oh
belief
my
system.
God.
So, and I also do feel that my roots are from Arcturus. So I don't know. I've been around a while.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay. Thank you.
Good, June.
You're
You
welcome.
pegged her. You pegged her. Do
Thank
you have a
you.
question for June, Marilyn?
I do. Well, I do enjoy that you are Palladian, and you can probably enlighten me through all your things that maybe you're going to do with Pamela, or maybe we could do things directly.
I'm not Palladian. I'm not
You're not Palladian. They just
No.
come to you.
Actually,
Yeah, that's because you're open, and they're lovers of dogs and animals. So
yeah.
And-
I was told possibly Lemurian, but the only reason I'm
Lemurian.
Palladians is because this person came to me one night and he called himself Ashtar.
Ashtar.
And I said, what is that? I said, I said, that's an interesting name. What state are you from? That's how I asked him what state he was from. And he said,
That's
well,
funny.
I'm from the Pleiades. I said, what is that? Oh my God. He was beautiful. Anyway, I fell in love with Ashtar Command and the Pleiades.
Ashtar Command. They have YouTube videos and downloads that people have from Ashtar. So, I know you probably don't have a ton of time, but they're very interesting to say the least, and you'll know what resonates and what doesn't resonate. And that's how I go through things with that. And as you mentioned, Lemuria, you have the Mount Shasta out in California, which I've been to, and that's usually where the Palladians, before the civilization has sunk into the water like Atlantis, they have in Shasta Mountain, they have a 5D place called Telos. So you should probably try to connect with that if Ashtar wants to expand you, because they're lovers of humanity and they've been here to try to help us, as well as the pets come in and incarnate as earth angels, as Pamela's dog is named.
Yep. And by the way, I did not name him Earth Angel. I was headed to a matter of fact, when I first started doing radio, I was doing a radio show, Bridge Between Two Worlds, down in Phoenix. And I picked him up, adopted him, and we're heading down for the ride to Phoenix from Sedona. And I said, well, what do I name him? I heard the word angel, just happened to be having someone on the show who was going to talk about angels, but it didn't feel right. So I just let it sit. Next day, took him for a walk while we were out at an RV park, and someone says, what'd you name him? And I says, I don't know. When I explained, this was in Sedona, so people are wide open. They're more accepting of all of this. And I said, I heard the name Angel, but it didn't feel right. She says, well, that's because he's an earth angel. And that's where it came from. And of course, here now, he's working from the spirit side of life. So,
of course they do. My Bella has just recently crossed over. It was labor. Yeah, me too. And her brother, they were born in the same litter. Rocco.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right, you're
they,
the person who sent me a message. All right, now I got it. Good.
yes, and my Rocco died right before Christmas of last year, and Bella just recently passed. And I used to call her my Earth Angel. I feel like she brought love back into my house, going through a divorce and having my kids here. So
The animals are very healing. As we're raising our energy, we're moving up to the higher dimensions. They're also raising their energy, and part of their role is to bring healing to us. And
yes,
that's what they're doing. Okay.
Looks like this radio show is going to be not only a place, but a space or place. I call it a sacred space. I believe that it's exciting and fun to hear as many people as we can ask questions. That's what I
yeah.
really want.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
I really
yep.
don't want to sit and yak. I mean, I don't want to talk a
Mm.
lot. I want to hear people
Yeah.
ask questions.
Yeah. Yeah. In June, it's close to the hour here. We could go a few more minutes if you're up to that. There's a couple of people who have not shared. I don't know if Maureen and then someone who's listed as Moto G7 Optimum. You've both been quiet. If you're interested in talking, please unmute yourself and let us know. Otherwise, you know what you could do if you want to stay in the silence, you can do a message through chat. That's a very, very safe place. That way you can still share a question or just talk for a few minutes.
I think Walter, Laurie's son, is trying to, I think he wants his mom to get some rest. Does that make sense?
Yes,
She's nodding.
Oh.
yes, it makes sense. He knows
And
I'm tired.
and are you taking Epsom salt baths?
No, but I was going to the other night and things just didn't work out. But I do have
Well,
everything.
you have to come first, and he wants that. It's really important. Please, Mom, please do that. All righty.
Yes.
All right, so we have Margot Medicine. Wow, listen to them, Pamela.
Okay, we're getting some, while you're talking, we're getting a couple chat messages in chat. I got, hi, everyone. Moto G is me. I think it was Cindy Marie, I believe.
Oh, Donald knows her. Can she speak to us?
Hang on. Moto G, basically, she said, just hi, everybody. Moto G is me. And that was the message from her. Margot says, let's start a channeling circle. Margot, I'm going to tell you, I'm not the one that's meant to be promoting that channeling circle. Thanks for mentioning it, but what's happened for me is I'm meant to be doing it out more in a professional way right now. But we will do something. We'll be channeling. It'll occur on this show at times. And what I want to say is another piece about this show is June's not going to be on here every week. I'd like to get her in here every week, but she's kind of said, well, Pamela, this is kind of your baby, but I will be there in support. So anyway, what else? Lori says to everyone, I started to record behind me with my phone as I saw an orb fly by behind me earlier. No surprise. So Maureen says, hi, glad to be here, learning so much. Great. I want to remind everybody here, just every sources is these shows are going to be on YouTube channel, Pet Detectives International. We also have the website, petdetectivesinternational.net. It's going to tell you what's going on. I'm also getting a nudge to do a website just for the radio show. That's something that's come to me 3 times now today. So I got to watch out. I don't want to get hit over the head on that one, if everybody understands. Yeah, Spirit's really strong about it. We also have a group. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, right, June? And it's Pet Detectives International with a dot and then net, N-E-T, okay? And that's where we're going to be doing posts and stuff. So we're been working on getting resources together. But the other piece is, please pass on the word of this work. It's a time to talk about the things, but it's also time to act. I also want to say, June, and June's going to agree with me, how important prayer is right now. Huh, June?
Yes, absolutely. I'm not good at it, but I do my best. And apparently I'm doing pretty good because you all are here tonight.
Well, June, we're finding whenever we get stumped, we do some prayer and the answer is going to come to us right away. And the more you work with it, the more you're going to see it that way for yourself too.
Donald,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Pamela.
Go ahead.
Donald, do you mind if I share one thing about you and I?
Go ahead.
Okay. When I first started communicating with my spirit husband 10 years ago, it was almost about 11 years ago now, he said to me, one day you will walk with White Wolf. And I pictured a white wolf walking next to me and all of this. Donald, you want to finish that story?
That's when I informed her that many years ago, a Cherokee shaman gave me the name White Wolf. And then later, when I was working in Mexico, they referred to me as El Blanco Lobo, which roughly translates into White Wolf. So
Awesome.
that's where White Wolf come from.
Awesome.
So we're stuck.
Awesome. June, we're going to be wrapping up shortly. We got a few more messages on the
Okay, hon.
Margot is also an animal communicator, not surprised. She says that yet she's not focused on lost animals. She said, I'd love to hear more about that sometime from June. Okay. And TJ, this is to June and myself. She says, I have a strong feeling that things are going to happen in the next couple of days for our case. She is here with me now. Awesome. And Lori and Moto G and Margot, wonderful. So what else is missing here? Any quick, we talked about, so the bottom line is the title of the show, the unique ways that we work, unique forms of pet communication, is working with spirit, is working with guides, is working with our gifts of communication. And not everybody is doing that.
No, they're not. Also, one thing I'd like to share,
Please.
is that I pay my guides. My guides get paid for their work in spirit. Now, what does that mean? I'll give you a sample of the Trojan Horse, which is police officers that were murdered. I work with police officers. It's called the Trojan Horse. And for instance, if I have a case, one of the officers is working with me. When the case is closed, and if I get paid, I'll get paid something. I take a portion of that, and I ask him, what do you want me to do? And he'll say, send it to my wife and tell her to put it on the vet bills, or send it to my children. Yeah, so I'd like to know how many mediums pay their guides to
I've never heard of it.
Yep. And June, that's very much like the Ebony Memorial Fund, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Awesome. So
yeah, they get paid.
Right. Is there any other topics or questions here that we want to include here and before we close? We've gone over, and that's going to happen. But this show is going to be continuing on weekly. I've got some ideas of topics for next week, but haven't actually made a decision yet. Spirit's given me some ideas. I love it.
Pamela.
What?
I have one. They want you to share where something about magazines or something you've been in or something. For me, I'll do mine real quick. I've been on Seacoast online, Seacoast newspaper up and down the eastern whatever. And I've also been in Wolf magazine.
Yep.
Wolf magazine and on television in the state of Maine, thanks to Lori. Next time I get on television, I'm going to get dressed properly and shape up. Anyway.
Yeah,
Oh.
Joe.
What's that?
I said, there you go.
She looked absolutely gorgeous that night that she was on TV. She sells herself short all the time.
Oh, geez.
Well, and this is my form of TV at this moment. So anyway, but it's been great. If you want to connect with us more, we will be posting for further shows, upcoming shows, Facebook, any of the resources that I've mentioned, but also there's, as the host here, I have my own website, PamelaMarieEdmunds.com, and am posting, I've got a page there dedicated to this show. And I guess I'm doing another website. I love it. And apparently there's a reason for it, so I just trust it. But I haven't secured the domain yet, but that we'll be mentioning that. So June, hon, thank you, sweetheart, for your knowledge. I even want to thank you for your tears, your emotions, dear.
No.
That shows that you care very, very much for the animals.
Well, I'm embarrassed and I apologize for that, everybody.
No need to be embarrassed, sweetheart. That
No
is
need to
part
be.
Yep. That's what fuels your drive to help the animals. Okay? That's what fuels your drive. So anyway, and I want to thank the people who came tonight. Judy, Donald, Marilyn, Lori, Margot, Maureen, Moto G, I believe was Cindy Marie.
Cindy.
Thank you. And TJ and all the people being behind the scenes, as we know there's a huge team, right, June? Can I send big hugs to you, June, sweetie? Well, we're supposed to be getting together sometime this fall, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah. There's some surprises that are coming.
I'm trying to keep my mouth shut.
Well, I'm just going to let one little cat out of the bag.
All right, okay? Go ahead.
Most of our cases, we work on from a distance, okay? Me here in Sedona, you in New Hampshire. Yet we have one case that we need to do a little groundwork. And Spirit
Oh my God. Are you going to share that? Are you going to share
I'm only just going to touch the tip of the iceberg.
Okay, go ahead.
There is a case that we've been working on in Texas for a number of years. And as the funds manifest, and we've been hearing this funds coming in for it, June, Elaine, and I are taking a trip to Texas. And we're going to get, I'm just going to simply say, we're going to get photos of those two animals so that we can close the case.
Yep.
And I'm not going any more further. How's that, June? Is that enough?
Yep.
Give people a little bit of a taste of what we've been
Say a
doing.
prayer for us, everybody, because I was told that we were spot on as to where these two dogs are. And it's hard for us. We can't say any much more right now, but
and of course COVID has been there.
Yep.
Then I'm on one coast, she's on another coast.
Yep.
And
I've never flown to a case, ever have I flown, but I'm going on this one. I'm going with Pamela.
And of course, all the guides that work with us are going to join us, and they're going to assist us while we're there. So please send us some good thoughts that this case, I'm just simply going to say, in Texas manifests and that we're divinely guided with it. And it's going to unfold. We've been hearing, and Arthur has been spot on, and we know it's going to come together. And we just trust that. So that's one of the explosions. That's one of the big things that's going to come up here. You're going to hear it first. Here we go, June.
Yes.
Hear it first here on Pet Detectives.
The people that
radio
were here
show.
tonight heard it first. They heard, I wasn't going to share any of that here, but I appreciate that you did, because I know darn well that, and they heard it first. Lori
Well,
and Marilyn and Donald and Judy and.
Yep, and June, there is a message there to TJ, says, I knew you were going to mention that, talking about, I'm not sure which, I would help you if I can in any way. And it's like, okay. So all of this is what's been simmering, and there's still another, I believe there's another case that we want to get proof of a pet.
Okay, I'd like to share something then. I'd like to
Okay.
share. Okay, I have another dog that I've been working on the case for about 2 years, maybe a little over that. I have an undercover. I have a person who works undercover. She doesn't ever want her name put out, so I can't say anything about that. But she is boots on the ground, so to speak. I told her where I suspected the dog was. I told her where who I thought had her. And she found, she got a sighting. We let the mother know, the pet mom know what road she was spotted on. Do you think the pet mom would go out and go down that road and look or do anything to help? She was still pissed off because I was charging at some point in time for my services. People get over that. I didn't even say how much. I just wanted to be compensated for a couple of years of work, maybe, a couple of $100 or something. What the heck? But yeah, we have 2 to 3 dogs right now that will probably, oh, I'm sorry. I just got, okay. We have one more, and that's the remains of our girl, Lucy. God bless you, Lucy, honey. Don't give up on us. We're going to keep going.
And that's the one that's about to manifest.
Yeah.
It's going to come together here.
So it's pretty exciting, everybody.
Yep. So we're going to keep, yep, we'll keep you updated. And another good thing to add is if you go to our website, we've started a blog in there. And June is sharing some of the things that the animals have been talking about. And one of the things in particular is that they'd like to have a last will and testament or something. June, what do you call it?
Well, their complaint, I've been doing this for a year with them and taking down notes. And one of the complaints that the animals on the other side have is that, I'll call out one in particular. I won't give her name, but she got cancer. And her pet mom found out that if they cut her leg off, they could save her. And she was just, it was awful. They were giving her medicine that she would throw up, and it was just awful what she went through. And she said, why is it you humans have a right, no resuscitation? If you're in the hospital and and you don't want them, you pull the plug or whatever, why can't we have a will and say, if I ever have to have something done to my body, no, I want to be put to sleep. Don't do that. Don't cut my leg off. Yeah.
And this is the first post on the blog.
Many
So something to think about, people. Something to think about. They want rights too. So anyway, June, it's been amazing. I love you, sweetheart. Big hugs. And
thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you, everyone. And God bless you all. Thank you for joining the show. And we'll be here again next week. At least I will be here. I'm not sure who's going to be with me, or I'm going to be I may be physically solo, but I'm going to have lots of helpers one way or the other. So thank you all. God bless you all, and keep being there for the pets because we are their voice.
Yes.
We are their voice, and
Thank
they've
you,
got so
everyone.
much to say.
Oh,
Yes. Thank you. Thank
Good
you, dear
night.
Donald.
Thank you. Good night.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone. God
Sweet
bless.
dreams.
Okay, I am ending, which is gonna, yep, God bless. End
Good night.
meeting for all. Good